So in this session, we are continuing in the Marziak. So number 4, we are going to study the punishment upon Marziak. So Isaiah, Micah, and Amos proclaim the punishment, the judgment upon this Marziak members. Okay, let's go to Isaiah chapter 5 verse 9, 10, 11. The Lord Almighty has declared in my hearing, surely the great houses will become desolate, the fine mansions left without occupants. A 10-acre vineyard will produce only a bath of wine, a homer of seed will yield only an ephah of grain. Woe to those who rise early in the morning to run after their drinks, who stay up late at night till they are inflamed with wine. Yeah, basically all the prophets have the message of restoration or salvation and judgment. So the same way the BC 8th century prophets, Isaiah, Micah, Amos, had also the message of judgment and salvation, or restoration. But here we are going to focus on the punishment, judgment. So those who increase the land size of the land and then add more houses, they will be what? They'll be punished. And then their houses will be desolate. Their houses will be destroyed because God is going to use Assyria. God is going to, in later time actually, God is going to use Babylon to destroy. In 8th BC 8th century, God is going to use Assyria to destroy. So that's why their house will be desolate. Their mansions will be no people, will be empty. Verse 13, chapter 5, verse 13. Therefore my people will go into exile. For lack of understanding, those of high rank will die of hunger, and the common people will be parched with thirst. Yes, Marziak members will go into exile. Not only, of course, Marziak members, those who are leaders, but also common people, okay, will be punished. Because the leaders are doing wicked things and they rebelled against God. And therefore, all the just normal common people also became rebellious against God. And then verse 22, same chapter, verse 5. Chapter 5, verse 22. Woe to those who are heroes at drinking wine and champions at mixing drink. Woe. Woe. When prophets use the word woe, woe means that it implies the judgment of God upon them. They are going to be thoroughly destroyed. Okay, now let's go to chapter 24, Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 24 talks about the devastation of the land, devastation of the northern kingdom, especially land. Why? Because the Marziak members, for their sin, they profane the name of God, and they make the land dirty, right? Okay, let us see verse 1. See, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth. The earth means the Ephraim. Ephraim means the North Israel, especially. Of course, South Judah also. He will ruin its face and scatter its inhabitants. They'll go into exile, right? Verse 8. Verse 8, the joyful timbrels are still, the noise of the revelers has stopped, the joyful harp is silent. No longer do they drink wine with a song. The beer is bitter to its drinkers. Right? Yes. Because of they are going to be destroyed. They cannot continue Marziah secret club. Right? Verse 10, the ruined city lies desolate. The entrance to every house is barred. It means totally, thoroughly destroyed. You know, again, we need to take a note of verse 5, Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. The earth is defiled, made dirty by its people. They have disobeyed the laws, violated the statutes, the word of God, and broken the everlasting covenant. Because they broke the covenant, the land became defiled. Right? So the land became defiled, and then according to Deuteronomy, then the land will vomit the inhabitants. What will happen if the land vomit the inhabitants? Means the inhabitants will be what? It will be gone into exile to foreign land. Now let's go to chapter 28. Isaiah chapter 20, verses 7 and 8. And these also stagger from wine and reel from beer. Priests and prophets stagger from beer and are befuddled with wine. They reel from beer. They stagger when seeing visions. They stumble when rending decisions. 8. All the tables are covered with vomit, and there's not spot without fields. So these will be chapter 8, chapter 28 says that, like, describes the northern Israel, Ephraim, describes Ephraim as what? The drunkard, right? Drunkard. They are drunkard. Like, they are like Marziah members. So, which means that Marziah members are the representative of northern Israel. They are all drunkard, right? So that's why Let's go to Amos. Amos chapter 4. Amos chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. Amos chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. The sovereign Lord has sworn by his holiness. The sovereign Lord means the Adonai God who made a covenant with Israel. You know, Adonai God is going to punish Israel because this Israel, northern Israel, they made a covenant with God, Adonai God, on Mount Sinai. Right now, they broke the covenant. That's why they will be punished as a result of breaking the covenant. So the sovereign Lord has sworn by his holiness, the time will surely come when you will be taken away with hooks, the last of you with fishy hooks. 3. You will each go straight out through breaches in the wall. You will be cast out toward Harmon, declares the Lord. You will be cast out. Wow. You cannot inhabit there in the land anymore. No. You will be cast out. That is the ultimate judgment. the land, the chosen people cannot stay in the chosen land, Canaan. Why? Because they broke the covenant. This Mardia people broke the covenant. Chapter 5, verses 18. Through 20. 18. Is about the day of the Lord. Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord. Why do you long for the day of the Lord? That day will be darkness, not light. It will be as though a man fled from a lion only to meet a bear, as though he entered his house and rested his hand on the wall only to have a snake bite them. Will not the day of the Lord be darkness, not light, pitch dark, without a ray of brightness? Yes. So, these Marzak members were waiting for the day of the Lord, because they thought that the day of the Lord is the day of salvation, right? From the enemies of from their enemies, like Assyrian Empire, right? But the day will not be the day of salvation, but the day will be the day of judgment for them. Amos chapter 8, verses 9 through 14. 9. In that day, declares the sovereign Lord, I will make the sun go down at noon and darken the earth in broad daylight. I will turn your religious festivals into mourning, and all your singing into weeping. I will make all of you wear sackcloth and shave your heads. I will make the time like mourning for an only son, and the end of it like a bitter day. The days are coming, declares the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine through the land, and not a famine of food or a thirst for water, but a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. People will stagger from sea to sea, wander from north to south, searching for the word of the Lord, but they will not find it. In that day, the lovely young women, and strong young men will faint because of thirst, and those who swear by the sin of Samaria, who say, as surely as your God lives, Dan, or as surely as the God of Beersheba lives, they will fall, never to rise again. Whoa, they'll fall, never to rise again. It's a destruction. So, Amos clearly declared judgment upon Marziah people. Marziah people, yes. I think briefly I'll go back to Isaiah chapter 24 verses 8 and 9. Isaiah chapter 24 verses 8 and 9. Once again. The joyful timbrel and still, the noise of the revelers has stopped. The joyful harp is silent. No longer do they drink wine with a song. Their beer is bitter to its drinkers. Why? Because the land, because of the sin of the Marzak members, they defile the land. That's why the land is going to be punished, right? The land is going to be barren, and it will be futile. Then if the land becomes futile, then will no harvest of especially grapes. Then if there's no grapes, actually they cannot make, Israel cannot produce good wine. You understand? This wine, choice wine, the best wine, was used by Marziah members. So here, no longer do they drink wine with a song. Means like no wine means it's a thorough a punishment upon Marziah members. Yes. Okay, now let's go to Micah. What did Micah declare on the Marziah people, Marziah members? Micah chapter 2, verses 4 and 5. Micah chapter 2, verses 4 and 5. In that day, people will ridicule you. They will taunt you with this mournful song. We are utterly ruined. My people's possession is divided up. He takes it from me. He assigns our fields to traders. Therefore, you will have no one in the assembly of the Lord to divide the land by lot. Actually, the absentee landlords, those who had huge land, actually, after they buy the land from the poor people, they divide. They set the boundary stone, right? They divide, right? But as a result of judgment upon them, their possession will be divided up. Oh. They do not, absentee landlords do not divide up their land, but the attackers, like Assyrian people, come and they divide up. What does it mean? They will be, the absentee landlords of northern Israel would be taken their land. And then you'd have no one in the assembly of the Lord to divide the land by lot, right? Because their land will be taken by Assyrian people, which means it's a covenant curse. Yeah, so what can you learn from the Institute of Marziah? Isaiah, Amos, and Micah in common declared the judgment of Marziah. These Marziah members are the ones who thoroughly, completely broke the covenant and covenant of God, and they thoroughly breached it. Broke the justice and righteousness of God by oppressing the poor people, crushing the face of the needy. You see, in our day, there are some rich people in church, especially in Korea, in America. There are many rich people in church, probably in India or some in Myanmar, some countries. Some churches have rich people. So the pastors have to proclaim, especially for the rich people, so that they can practice justice and righteousness of God, to protect the poor people, to protect the right of the needy and the poor. You see, otherwise, these Marziah members, those who are like social leaders, military leaders, political leaders, absentee landlords, who have a lot of money, by crushing the rich people, the poor people, they are destroyed. They are destroyed. God is the God of justice and righteousness. So that's why you, as a pastor and a Bible student, so you need to teach and proclaim not only the mercy and love of God, but also the justice and righteousness of God, so that the people, church members, can practice it. Christian judge should not take bribes, black money. No, we shouldn't do that, because it is a breaking of justice and righteousness of God. And also, if you are rich Christian, you have to take care of the poor people. You should, according to the Old Testament, actually, 4 groups of poor people in society, right? Orphans, right? Widows, strangers, foreign people, foreigners, and Levites. They are the ones who are to be taken care of by rich people. So rich people should take care of the poor people and practice hesed, love of God, mercy of God to them. Otherwise, when contemporary rich people will be doing the same thing as Marziah members in the time of Amos and Isaiah and Micah, then they will be also judged like Marziah members. So don't forget to preach, proclaim Marziah, okay? So that church members understand, right? Justice and righteousness of God. Thank you.